Martell goes back to Martelling? Right. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. Y'all, we are here today to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 10, Episode 8. And the name of the episode is called Humpsville, Alabama. Now, usually the name of the episode usually go with the episode. Listen, sometimes it could be each one teach one over here. I don't get it. I don't get what the Humpsville got to do with what we seen on this episode. The episode started off with Martell. Martell is checking on an investment property because he plans on moving Ariane and her family into the house. So he's there measuring some furniture. Chris Fletcher shows up and meets him there, and he shares with him that he's moving Ariane in, but he's not moving in until he's engaged to Ariane. So then Chris Fletcher tries to clown him and tell him that he's acting like Ken and called him good guy number 2. Listen, you have to beware of your circle. I know that these are games that niggas play with each other, but considering what Martell lost and why he lost it and how he lost it, why would you even say anything or create any doubt in his mind when he's trying to do the right thing this time around? To me personally, I don't see anything wrong with Martell moving Ariane and her children into this investment property without him. To my knowledge, I believe that she has 2 children and only one of the children is by Martell. So I think that if he can move her in and take stress off of her financially, where she will be able to provide more for their children or provide more for his child and his child's sibling, then why not? I don't like when niggas do shit like that. If I was well-to-do or if I had a little extra, I think that I would look out for my baby mama, whether we was together or not, because my child is with her my child wouldn't be with her most of the time, but I'm saying I'm pretty sure the child is with the mother most of the time. And even if he's not, you do want your child to be comfortable. Fletcher told Martell that him and Marsau sounded like 2 big bitches the other night at the golf course. Now that was funny. Martell said that he feels like Marsau talks about women that he's been with and he be telling lies. He said that he hasn't really done anything to Marsau. He said that he talked about Marsau being with 20 women before, but that was like 4 to 5 years ago.
Oh shit!
Martell, you literally just did an interview last year with a girl that he was with. And Martell, you have to realize that you was also fighting with Tisha. And by you fighting with Tisha, Marsau was put into the bad spot. So you and him had to fight with each other. And listen, they both do wrong, if you ask me. Martell said that Marsau spread lies about Ariane. And he said, just like Tisha is Marsau's woman, Ariane is his woman. Don't say nothing about her, period. And I'm like, wow. And he's really taking claim with Ariane, right? He's really claiming her. But you see, last episode, he had to check out the whole facts about Ariane before he really just said that was my woman and committed to her being his woman. But when I saw this, I was like, wow, this is like low. For Martell and Mel to be beefing with Marsau and Tisha, and they was fighting each other. So he lost Mel, and now we have subbed in Mel for Ariane. I think that is criminal. I think that is criminal. This is crazy. Then we get Ken. Ken ended up calling Will over because he said that him and Tricia had a situation and he needed some insight. Now, according to Ken, he was filming a podcast in his garage with Will and another dude, and they was lifting weights. Tricia walked through the camera, but the way he's telling the story and the way we saw it, it's not like the camera was directly on them, right? They were far away from the camera. So he's telling the story and making it seem like she disrupted the filming. It seemed like the camera was at one end of the garage and it was way on the other end. Now, when she walked out, he said, I know you ain't walking out of here without giving me no damn kiss. And so I'm confused. Was he upset about her walking in front of the camera, or was he upset with her leaving without giving him a kiss? He went on to say that he feels like that she constantly embarrasses him. So I feel like that he was embarrassed that she left without kissing him in front of his homeboys. And to me, I just feel like Ken is too needy for me. I feel like Ken is a man who wants to be worshipped, and he feels like that he's doing everything to be worshipped. If I seen my spouse lifting weights with his friends, and he was all sweaty and shit, and all of them had their shirts off, I'm not coming over there to give him no kiss, right? And I don't think that that's disrespect, because it's almost like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. Because if she would have went over there, she would have been accused of looking for attention or looking at the niggas with their shirts and stuff off. Ken said that he's tired of Tricia. He said he started reaching out to realtors to leave and get ready to move because he's over it.
Go. I prefer that.
He said this whole time he's been treating Tricia like she is his wife, but she's not his wife. She's somebody else's wife.
100% correct.
Correct. She's somebody else's wife. And just so we are clear, that's not your family either.
Like what?
But that's the reason why.
Them kids not your kids neither. So I'm glad we know now, because y'all be trying to fight me in the comment section saying that's his family, that's his family. This is not even his wife.
This is a family thing. You ain't no family.
This is not even his wife. If this is not even his wife, how could she be his family? He want kids, so he want to claim these kids as his, but they're not his. It's Neverland.
Neverland.
Those will never be his kids. And we got to be honest about it. He said that Tricia is not even treating him like she his boy, like he her boyfriend.
Oh my God.
He said every time they argue, she tells them they got to get out. And when he makes steps to leave, she says that he's taking things and being spiteful. But he says some of the things is his too. My thing with Ken is, why are you even doing things with a married woman?
You's a stupid motherfucker.
Ken shouldn't even be living with Tricia until she got a divorce. At the very least, until she got a divorce. So then he goes on to say that the kids suffer most. So let me get this straight. So you saying that the kids are not suffering with Marquez not being around, but they gonna suffer because of you?
Nigga, please.
He said if they break up, it's gonna take a toll on him. He gonna cry. And he said he gonna need time to process not being around the kids because he loves them. I want Ken to go and get into therapy. Ken said that he dated a woman before, but when you break up with the woman, you kind of break up with the kids.
Exactly.
You don't go date with women with children. And this is the thing is, I think that y'all think that Ken is a good man, but I see through him. Don't no man go around dating a woman with kids, and every time he break up with the woman, he keeping the kids in his back pocket.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Ain't no man doing that. Ken is doing that because he doesn't have kids, and he's getting into these relationships, and he's getting attached to these kids. It's sick. And we just got to call it what it is. Ken said that he thinks that Tricia needs a lot of therapy, and I think that Ken needs a lot of therapy too. And I'm just being honest with you. Then we get Marsau. Marsau has a pedicure date with Maci. They're having their one-on-one time, and he wants to give his children individualized attention. I never got that. I never got individualized attention. I am the oldest of three. My siblings are fraternal twins. So for y'all, some of y'all that don't know, that is one boy and one girl twin. But we're Irish triplets, meaning that we were born within 12 months of each other. We're 10 months and 2 days apart. So we're the same age for like a month and a half. And being that I have a sibling that is the same sex as me, we had to do everything together. So we never got any individualized attention. I think that my parents were so focused on trying to make sure none of us was left out that they neglected to think about the individualized attention. And I do think that the individualized attention is some new age shit. And anyway, we found out that Maci got a man. Listen, I don't know. How old do a person got to be before we say that they got a man? Maci got a boyfriend. Maci got a boyfriend named Byron. And so away from Marsau to see what Maci has done with Byron, they started playing Never Have I Ever. So he asked her about, has she ever hugged her spouse? He should have asked her, if you real slick, Marsau, you should have asked her about hugging, period. Because all we know is this is her first man or boyfriend, right? All we know is this is her first boyfriend, but we don't know if she had been hugging niggas down at the school or not. You get what I'm saying? So you supposed to ask, has she been hugging niggas, period? Have you ever hugged somebody of the opposite sex? Who have you hugged at the school? Because she probably get down like Erica Jane, them daughter. I don't know. But he asked about hugging. She admitted to the hugging, so she took a drink. He asked about kissing. Now, she didn't admit to the kissing. Maybe she haven't kissed. Maybe she did. You don't know. Maybe she felt uncomfortable. But she probably looked like she was uncomfortable. And I can understand a young girl, 14 years old, coming into her own, feeling uncomfortable, saying this in front of a camera. Me personally, I'm not giving on all that. How much is the checks that Oprah cut? We're not giving on all that. Because one thing with reality TV, you admit to one thing on camera and people will never let it go. People online, their daughters done had babies. And I told you when I was in 6th grade, I had a Mexican homegirl, Perla. She got pregnant when we was in the 6th grade, baby.
No.
Oh yes. No. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
And the people that get online and be calling Maci fast, all she did was hug a nigga, and she 14 years old. Meanwhile, they child out here having babies at 12 and 11. What I thought was cool that Marsau did was he asked Maci to rate him and Tisha as parents. Maci first gave Marsau 8 and a 9, and then she dropped it down to 6 or 7. I really do believe that she meant it was an 8 or 9. I think that she likes to give him a hard time, and she dropped it down to 6 or 7. But she said that Tisha was a 10. He asked why was Tisha a 10. She said that mom is always home for her and Mila, and she's always there when they need her. Marsau said that, yeah, your mom was working, and then she wanted to stop working to spend time with the kids. I think that Marsau was trying to let Maci know that the reason why mom is there so much and he's not is because he's out providing so she could be home with the children. It's not because he chooses not to be. And I believe that Marsau is a good father. And I know we make fun of him not knowing or forgetting that his son was allergic to peanut butter, but he is a provider. But the thing is, no matter what you do, people will always have something to say. He's a provider. He's out making money. You're going to miss some things. And so people are going to call him a bad dad. Then if he is with the kids and he's a Mr. Mom, he's not providing. So he will still be a bad dad or he'll be a bum. So you just can't win. So I think that people should just do what's best for their household. I don't think that Maci understands now, or I don't think that she will really understand what Marsau is trying to tell her until Tisha breaks it down to her. If she gives her dad a hard time to Tisha will have to say, well, look, baby, your daddy wasn't at home because he didn't choose to be. It was because I wanted to, lay back and wanted to be home with y'all. So he made it so that I can relax. And while he was out there working and providing for us, I think that she'll understand it then. Then Marsau ends up telling Maci, no matter what, no matter where you're at, if you're ever in trouble and you need me, I may be upset, but you can always call me. You'll be protected. There's nothing that you can do in any type of trouble you can get in that will make you less to my daughter. And he asked her, did she understand? And she said, yes, but she really was looking like, whatever. Yeah, my mama used to say that stuff all the time. And I'd be like, whatever. I tried to tell my mama something, never again, okay? I just don't feel like my mama made it a safe space. I get that you're going to be upset in the moment, but my mama take it too far. My mama will be bringing shit up 6 months later. My mama will be bringing the shit up 6 months later and still crying about it. Sitting in the house crying, what's wrong with you? You said, girl, I thought we buried the shit that night. I done got over the shit and now you reminded me of the shit again. You get what I'm saying? I do want to be a safe space for my children, but I have learned with, for me and my mama, it's just, look, nah, girl, don't fall for that shit.
Don't fall for that shit, bitch.
Then we get to Tricia. Tricia said that she needed some input from Sharon and Destiny about what she's going through with Ken. I think that she should have sat down with 2 women who wasn't pick-me, because they was really giving pick-me vibes, especially that Sharon. She said that her and Ken had to take a break, but Destiny said that she's not surprised. Now we get Tricia's side of the story. So it was the same story, except Tricia said that she walked through the camera. The camera was still far away. Now this time we seen on camera, Ken, yeah, where the fuck are you going? I know you ain't leaving without giving me no damn kiss.
Yes, baby.
So then Tricia said that Ken said that she was being rude. Now, I don't think that it was rude. I think that what Ken did was rude and it was embarrassing. And he also did it live on camera, because now we've actually seen it. So it was live on camera and he did it in front of company. She said that Ken got upset. He came in the house and said, give me all my shit back.
Like it got really.
Give me all my shit back. And so she said that Xavier came downstairs and threw the keys on the counter to the car that Ken got him. Okay. And he went back upstairs. So that means that when he was saying, give me all my shit back, that he must have been down there in the house downstairs acting a fool and showing out in front of company, so much so that Xavier heard him upstairs and came down and gave him back the keys to the car.
Oh my God.
Now, they keep on saying the car that he got for Xavier. If Ken asked for the keys for the car back that was supposed to be for Xavier, then Ken ain't gave Xavier no damn car.
Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that.
Xavier was using the car that Ken had. Let's be very clear. Ken never bought Xavier a car. He let Xavier use the car because if you gave somebody something, that's for him to have. You can't be getting mad at my mom and then taking my kids away from you. Tricia said that Xavier felt the way, so she felt the way. And I'm telling y'all look at Ken like he's a good man. I see through him. Ken would have only had one time to give my son the car and get mad at me and take the car away. My son would have never drove that car again. And the crazy thing is, Xavier didn't do nothing. And from what we're hearing, it don't sound like Tricia did nothing. Ken is over there on a power trip. I think that Sharon and Destiny, they want her to stay with Ken because they haven't found men who will play daddy to their kid. And they look at what Ken is doing as a plus. But look at what he's doing. Look at what he's doing. Niggas play on that. They do. I was talking to a family friend the other day on FaceTime, and he told me that he was dating this woman with 2 kids, right? And he housed the 2 kids. While the girl that he was dating went to work one day, she went to work and she left her iPad at the house. And the iPad was connected through her phone, and her iPad was connected through iMessage. And so he ended up going through her iPad and found out that she was cheating. The whole time he was venting to me about it, he was talking about how he housed the kids, provided a roof for them, moved them in when they didn't have nowhere to go. And he was basically saying she must don't love her kids. But the whole time he didn't really say anything that he was doing for her outside of what he was doing for the kids. And it also, and I had to tell him, it seemed as if he felt that she should only be faithful or grateful to him because he took in the kids. And so then he started calling her a trifling hoe. And when he was saying that, I'm sure that he had talked to her like that before he found out that she was cheating, which is probably why she started cheating. And by the way, the kids had 2 different daddies too. He mentioned he went and told me that. And I just say that to say people will do stuff for your kids and they think that that's all they gotta do. But that is the bare minimum. Her and her kids gonna be all right. Tricia said that her biggest issue with Ken is his aggression.
Miss Pages, you need to come up in here and get this rock wilder.
She said that when he goes there, she goes there. And the women are finding fault in Tricia. As if she didn't say that he was just aggressive. And you know, Ken is a big old gorilla. So him being aggressive is crazy. Again, I feel like that Destiny and Sharon are trying to make Tricia feel like that she was wrong in what is going on with her and Ken because they wish they had a man who was doing what Ken was doing. That's why you got to be careful with your village. Because I feel like the women want her to want Ken solely by how he treat the kids. That's the only thing they can see is that he there for the kids, he there for the kids, he there for the kids. Yeah, but this nigga is aggressive. This nigga is aggressive. This is a big old 6 foot, probably 275 pound ass nigga around here. You get what I'm saying? And she ain't no, yeah, she in the gym too, but she ain't no goddamn Killer Sally. She's a small petite girl that go to the gym. That is a big old man. So then Sharon say, I need to see you fight for your relationship. And this is what me and her gonna fall. She was telling Destiny, this is what me and her gonna fall live. And she was like, you know, I'll fight for the relationship. And Sharon told her, girl, no, I feel like it's worth fighting for. Is he worth fighting for? Girl, you doing too much for me. Sharon doing too much for me. She was doing so much. I don't know if y'all caught it. Destiny had to jump in and say, you know, that's her choice. That's her choice. The fuck are you talking about? You don't know. You don't. And the thing is, Tricia probably not be telling her everything. You don't know what she's going through over there in the house. You don't know what she's going through. Then the last scene was with Martell and Marsau. Maurice thought that they should meet up to resolve their issues. The thing is, I think that Martell and Marsau, they love each other. But what I see, when I see this relationship or when I see this friendship, what I really believe is that somewhere in their friendship, Marsau was seen and felt like he was less than. Now, Marsau has leveled up. His businesses are doing great. And depending on who you ask, his marriage is doing great.
Are you sure?
So he feels like he won and Martell now lost. And when he lost everything. That's what I feel like is going on. And I feel like that Marsau feel like he on top within this friendship. Now, notice that Martell is not apologizing and saying that he lied about anything. He is very adamant that he is telling the truth. But he is saying, I didn't want to take it there. I was pushed. I ain't want to take it there, but I was pushed. Pay attention to the words. Martell is telling the truth about the skies. And he's telling the truth about Kimmy and Tisha too. They part of the sky. Marsau said that there would never be a true resolution because Martell takes shots when you're not looking for no reason. Marsau can't be serious. They showed a clip when they was at field day And Destiny asks, who in this group has showed up for you the most? And Marsau said, Martell, because he showed me not to leave my wife for a shareable side chick. That's a shot. That's a shot. And Marsau was just saying last week that he didn't say anything about him since season 1. And you lied. You lied. That is a shot. Marsau said that he doesn't want to get past it. He's seen the apologetic Martell before. Soon as something happened, Martell goes back to Martelling again. Martelling? Like Martelling the truth? Or Martelling on you? Not more lying, Martelling. Heavy on the telling.
Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? I ask you. Is it a coincidence?
I don't think that's a coincidence. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Make no mistake. Martell ain't lying about these Scott brothers. And he's definitely not lying about Marsau. If I'm Tisha and I'm watching this, I want to see Marsau tell Martell at least one time, you're lying. At least one time I want you to tell him, you lying. You lying on me. And he's not saying that, I know what it is. I'm a realist. If he didn't tell him you lying, I know what it is. So then they ended up coming up with a resolution to stop saying shit about each other and their spouses. I wonder how long this is going to last. I don't think that this show provides a space for Martell and Marsau to be friends. When the show first started, it was just Martell, Maurice, Marsau, and their spouses. And the show needed some type of conflict for it to be entertaining. Maurice and Marsau are brothers, right? And they're real brothers, so they ain't gonna really have no conflict with each other. And if they do, it won't be anything serious. So that just left Marsau and Maurice to fight Martell instead of fighting each other. And so I believe that that's why they had so much conflict at the beginning, because the brothers are not going to go against each other. They got to go against Martell. Now that we have other couples on the show, they probably could coexist and not come for each other. But back then, they was doing things to each other. So we'll see. But y'all, that was the episode. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do y'all think that Martell and Marsau will be able to coexist without going after each other? And who do y'all think is wrong between Tricia and Ken? I think that Tricia could be wrong, but Ken got some bullshit with him. I think that Ken needs as much therapy as Tricia needs, and I want him to go get an emotional support dog or an animal or join the Big Brother, Big Sister Foundation or something. Because you ain't about to be sitting up here playing around, playing daddy to my motherfucking king. Okay. But thank y'all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate the love and support, and I'll see y'all later. Adios.
Call daddy, tell him 25. Call daddy, tell him 25. Call daddy, tell him 25. Oh, cool.